morning.
Hey.
It is Monday, and it is foggy and rainy. I know. I know. We're matching the weather. We are. And Catherine, we're matching the weather.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Look at there.
Man, if I was really matching the weather, I would be asleep.
You'd be in sync with the weather.
Yeah, I would be
sure.
truly in sync, but I'm trying to fight against it, hence the Celsius.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, we really ought to hit them up for a sponsorship.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure they're not sponsoring a community college yet, so that spot
Pretty certain.
is ours. It's going to be ours.
We may need to
All
we may
For sure.
numbers up a little.
Sounds like a.
Well, hey. Even if it's just a case, right? Just give us a case. That's good enough.
Hey, yeah.
It doesn't have to be money, it's barter system. We talk about them, and that's true. We'll figure it out.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Cash.
There you go.
I like your thinking there. I like that.
Well,
Y'all,
happy Monday.
Happy
Happy
Monday.
Monday.
We
Happy
have
Monday.
the wonderful Miss Catherine Middlebrook with us
Yes, we
today.
do.
She's
Kind,
agreed.
First time.
Too kind.
She's
Thank you,
agreed
thank
to
you,
come
thank
on
you.
the hot seat for us. So
Just a
she is
little
our
bit,
new
just a little
director
bit.
of workforce. And thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you for
today.
having me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're going to get to dig into who Miss Middlebrook is in just a little while.
Don't be scared.
All right. You signed up for this.
Look, she is ready. She's like, don't be scared.
Yep.
Don't be scared. All
love it.
right. Love it.
Well, and we also start out the podcast just kind of an icebreaker, if you will. So
Okay.
we're not going to, we're going to ease you into it with a
Thank you.
fun question of the day. And I could not think of a single question this morning. So Miss Darian actually came out with a good question that's
Well.
very Miss Darian. So ask the question of
Miss
the day.
So, if money was no object,
Okay, you could stop right there.
That part.
It's always
That's
an
right.
object.
That's right.
we're dreaming this morning.
Okay, dream big.
Dreaming.
If money was no object, what type of wheels would you be rolling in? What car would you walk right to the car lot and say, give me that one?
Wow.
I want to
like
know
it.
the color. I want to know all the things.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, what would you go and get?
Wow.
So
Good question.
I would say a midnight blue
Oh.
Lamborghini. I mean, but then I sound terrible because like people are like, well, what kind of Lamborghini? There's like 15 different versions. But that's the thing. I don't dream big enough, so I don't know like which specific one. But it would be a Lamborghini something.
He just
sports
knows it
car.
has to be bougie.
Midnight blue.
Lamborghini, so that would be
Okay.
your play car because I know your kids. You got one kid out already.
Yeah.
Another one is on his way out.
They're not.
They could ride it
Never.
except for you and the wife.
That's right. No, yeah.
And that's all you can ride, right?
Yeah, I mean, because somebody's going to scratch something and I'm going to be mad. So, yeah.
Ooh.
He'd be like, don't even walk by it.
Yeah, don't even look.
Don't even
yeah.
look at
Look,
them.
that's one of those cars that either you're pulling it up in a garage and or you're pulling it up in the garage and you're covering it inside the garage. Like,
Yeah.
just in case.
Preferably.
So the elements from the garage get to it, right? You got to cover that thing up.
That's right. That's right. Gotta take care of it.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you've been waiting. She's
There
been
are
waiting since
elements.
Friday. She is prime,
Be
boy.
ready. Ready.
Are the two-legged kind or the ones that float in the air? Elements.
All the cars.
All the kind. It probably wouldn't be driven is the whole deal, right? I probably wouldn't even drive it.
Well, why get it?
Uh,
Just to look at it.
Oh, well, that's right. If money were no object, which means if something got messed up on it, I could just
Yeah.
get another one.
yeah,
I can get
yeah.
it fixed.
Fixed.
Okay, for sure. Then that's
Yeah,
fine. I'll
we're
drive it.
dreaming.
You drive it.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. It's hard just to get out of reality, you know.
I feel you. Y'all, I'm lame. I am going to go to get mine out of the way. I am not a super big, like, car person. I'm kind of like Ryan. I don't know what kind. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you as much as I can. I love my current car so much. It's my favorite car I've ever driven. I would get the newest version of the Honda CR-V.
Oh.
I think I would stick with white because usually no, I like the color of like a dark gray, like a charcoal gray. I think would be better, bluish kind of gray. I think I would get it in that color, and I want like a big sunroof on it because Yes, I would love a moonroof.
Yeah, oh,
If they did that with the Honda CRVs, I would want that for sure. But some kind of, and I also like to be able to open it up too, in the summer.
convert-
That's
okay,
always nice.
okay.
So when I'm going on vacation,
Want to limit that to like the late fall and early spring. Your head would
they're a little rough. Yeah, they're a little
And
rough.
Don't park on any trees.
Yep. And so that's what I would get. And I would want to get like the light interior, like a light tan.
Ooh, that's taking a risk right there.
Kind of sporty.
A
you
light
know?
interior.
Yeah. It would be messed up so quick, but it would be beautiful.
yeah, but when she starts having babies, she'd be like, "Oh Lord, why did I choose this?"
Oh my God. Y'all
But
are
hey,
putting
money's no object, right? So she can get it reupholstered.
That part.
Reupholstered.
That part. That part.
Yep.
So, all of you listening,
Don't call Cameron right now.
Please don't call me.
let us know what your dream vehicle
Okay.
is. If money were no object, what you go out and get.
Yep.
I guess I can chime in here. What my ideal the dream vehicle would be an old school Land Rover.
Okay.
Racing
When you say
green.
old school, what year?
Let's say 1985.
Okay.
The kind they take on safaris.
Oh yeah, you want
That
something
kind.
rugged.
Rugged, yeah. I want something rugged because I like
Oh,
it.
that says something about Catherine's personality.
Does
Jot that
it?
down, y'all.
Yeah,
Does it?
adventurous and
Okay.
yeah,
I try to be.
yeah. Ooh,
My
she's
husband
dropping
doesn't necessarily-
clues.
My husband doesn't
it.
necessarily like it, but we try. We try to get out. He might sit in the vehicle and wait for me, but I like hiking. I do. I like getting out in the woods and getting
Oh,
my hands
wow.
dirty a little bit,
Interesting.
We got us a
Yeah.
nature girl.
Yeah.
I like
Yes,
that a little bit. So yeah, and I would like it racing green.
Okay.
The racing green color, and I do like that tan interior.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah,
just something
for
so
sure.
sporty about it. It
Yeah,
elevates
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Since all of our babies are out of the house, I could stand it.
That's that.
But I don't mind mud.
Yeah.
I'm okay. That's what water's for.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
yeah.
go.
Miss Darren
I
is
am not
quite
that
the
girl.
opposite.
That's what I said. I am not that girl.
Listen. I'm so used to I was as a kid climbing on top of rooftops and trees and things of that nature. I'm the eldest of my siblings, and so you had to set the.
You led the pack.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
you
right.
had to do that.
There you
know?
go.
Led the pack.
Well,
Well,
I'm
look.
dying to know too what Miss Darian's dream car is because
We're
she is
listening.
a car gal.
But look, it's gonna surprise you because it's not all that expensive. It's not Lamborghini.
Okay.
Because I want to be able to. For me, I want to be able to drive it. I mean, because if I got it,
Money's
look, I want to
no
drive it.
That's right. That's
I want to
right.
drive it, and I want it to be fast.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
So-
and it wouldn't have State Farm car tracker on it, wouldn't it?
Look, that
Aggressive.
makes me so mad. Okay, so for those of you all who do not
Don't know.
Okay.
the last time that insurance went up, which was like over a year ago, for us, my husband said, and he had mentioned this to me before, and I just shut it down. But my husband said, "Look, Darian, this insurance is going up too high. We are going to." He didn't ask me this time. So I started positioning myself
Did
in
you?
there in
Like
the
a- like
conversation,
that?
Sitting up straight. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
yeah. And we are going to do that State Farm tracker. We're going to put it in our vehicles because we get a discount, and that discount will offset the increase
Uh-oh.
to this insurance. And I'm like, crap. Y'all, it monitors.
Yes, it does.
It monitors when
It
you
does.
brake
Brake?
too hard.
That's
So
correct.
evidently, you can't drive too close to the car, drive too fast and up close to the car in front of you, because when you have to slow down, it monitors that hard braking, and you get what they call an event. And they give you a score, and the highest is 100, and it goes backwards. And so
Apparently you can't
And it
get
gets lower
points.
than that.
Wow. Wow.
they monitor the braking, they monitor your speed, like if you go
Yeah.
over the speed limit. They monitor if you're on your device, any device, well, your cell phone, really,
okay.
because
How
that's
do
what
they
it's
know?
connected to.
Okay.
And they also it's a couple of other things, because it was like 5 things that they monitor. And anyways, whenever I'm behind somebody or in front of somebody now, they'll let you go like 8 miles over the speed limit
Okay.
without dinging you for an event.
Okay.
And so I will ride along that 8-minute deal. I mean that 8-mile deal.
Okay.
And so and people get so mad, and I'm thinking, I was once you people, give me a break.
Just don't be in the left lane.
They drive around me and like, same thing that I used to do to people.
Yeah.
But now,
It's happening to you.
but now I can't do that because I am that person. But but anyway, so I can't, like go really, really fast. Now, I don't know if we're going to keep the same insurance when we leave and move to Texas for good or
Did you bring
not.
the tissues, Ryan?
So,
No, I got a whole
you know,
sleeve.
but
Planning.
I'm
Planning.
hoping that
Okay.
whoever we go to does not have this type of
I
program.
understand.
Wait, so they're
because-
still monitoring you? Like they monitor you all the time?
Yeah, I mean, they monitored me on the way to work this morning.
I'm going to give a plug to Progressive. Progressive will monitor you just for like the first month or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And then if you have good scores that month, then you get to take the little device out of your
Really?
engine, whatever thing, and it
Are
just-
you
they
serious?
leave you alone. Yeah.
I have Progressive, so
Interesting.
But Big Brother's watching you forever and ever and ever. So that's I couldn't be
Wow.
that. No, I couldn't do that.
I didn't do it at all.
they just believed
They
in you.
kept asking. Yeah, they just kept asking us,
Yep.
and I just said, they said, well,
Right.
can we speak to Mr. Middlebrook? I said, he's not here.
Okay,
Not
so
available.
let me see if I can
Ducking a
put
little
this
bit
up to
there.
the camera.
Oh my word! What in the world?
Oh my
Are we
goodness.
really? Are we really doing this?
Yes, she's doing it. Wow. Wow.
What? What? Matt Napper is scratching his head right now, saying, "What?
Oh
what
my
am I seeing?"
goodness. Oh my goodness, this is funny.
No.
So they
Wow.
monitor your braking, your acceleration
Uh-huh.
when you speed off.
Yeah.
Which I don't do that. I'm not very guilty of that.
Okay.
Very much. Cornering, like when you're driving too fast and you turn a corner and you're like turning on 2
Really?
wheels.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm bad about
I'm guilty about that. Yeah, that me
Really?
too. Yeah, I'll.
2 wheels.
You can't.
she shows up.
I need that. Look,
Fast and Furious.
I need that
in your
Land Rover
vehicle?
that you're talking about. Like,
You know what it is, though, right? Little people always got something to prove.
Oh,
So they,
no, let me
not
tell you,
trying to run people
I just like to drive fast. It's not that I'm even in a hurry. I mean,
She has a need for speed.
I just
that what it
really
is?
like to
I guess
drive
so.
fast. I
Wow.
mean, if I could go for a day and just go hang out at the racetrack and drive one of the race cars, I would so do that.
Oh my
Interesting.
gosh.
I would do that.
I love. So what's your
So
dream fast
so
car?
I would, but it has to be practical.
It does
Because I want to be able to drive it every day, right?
Okay.
Right. So we rented a Wagoneer once, and I really, really loved it because it was so classy and it was very spacious and it was fast. But anyways, I would still juice up that engine and go a faster engine. I would do that one, or I would do the Cadillac Escalade because I really do love that in black. Charles Stevenson has one, and
I
it is
saw his car
it
the
is
other day.
so
I thought it was.
fine. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
It
And I
looks
like
good.
the tan interior too, like
Okay,
that
okay.
that leather, that
Okay.
tan leather is just so
Isn't it
fine. And
beautiful?
then oh
Classy.
my gosh!
supple and
But
Yes.
whatever
Very
whatever
classy.
vehicle, if it was either one of those two, I would still juice up the engine.
I feel like I have to dial mine back now because I went overseas and y'all were like, "No, we're gonna keep it right here in the USA."
I know.
well, Land Rover is, They're still overseas.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right.
You're not by yourself.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
you are.
We're gonna
Yeah.
travel.
Ryan
Europe,
just
okay.
does
Yeah,
bougie
you-
first. He just needs he's like,
Bougie
you were like, bougie first, ask questions later. That's what your motto is.
Well, like she said, if
Time
money
out,
was
you-
no
And
object.
Cameron said it.
Time
And
out.
Cameron said, look, I didn't even say it,
Wait a minute.
Mr. B.
What is this? What is this?
Mr.
Y'all can't
B.
be ganging up on me now.
Yeah,
Hold
but
on.
we did. But we did.
Oh my God.
We
Yes,
did.
yes, yes.
We still got
Bougie.
still got some work to do together.
Cameron,
we gotta keep that relationship
Cameron,
apart.
we bougie.
Did you?
we bougie.
We
Oh
knew this
my
episode would be a
goodness.
little crazy. We
Moving
knew.
Wow.
right along. Yes, moving right along to news and upcoming.
Oh my goodness.
Let's
segment
get
is
into it.
over.
Now Ryan's doing this. That is so funny. Let's get into it.
All right.
Woo! And we're
Oh.
They
back.
do this all the time. It's
All the
like
time?
peaceful over here, and then it's like war over there.
Oh
It's
my
crazy.
goodness. Okay, we got War and Peace at the table. All right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep, we sure do.
All right.
All right, news and upcoming. What do we
So,
have?
I'm
We
little
got a
out
lot
of-
this week.
We do. I'm a little out of order from the agenda, but we're going to start out with the Black History Month program. So Rustin had theirs last week, which we'll cover in just a little bit, but Black History Month programs are happening this week, all this week. First, we have Winsboro. They're going to have a special guest, Mr. Alfonso Norwood, and refreshments from Mr. Daryl Teets. He always crushes the refreshments.
Oh, he really does.
He's good. And so that'll be February 27th from 12 to 1:30. So that'll be really good. Dr. Deborah Jackson is over making this event happen.
She
so-
does that. You know, she's done that the last few years, and she does a great job.
Yep, she always does a fabulous job. Next, we have West Monroe's Black History Month program, which is actually today at
Today.
11 o'clock.
Okay.
They have Sophia Dixon Brown as their special guest speaker, and usually they do lunch too. So y'all can probably expect lunch and a really good talk. For
There's always
their
food in
program.
West Monroe.
Always.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Sophia Dixon Brown. I like her name.
Yeah, me too. It's got some
Yeah,
funk to it. I like it.
does.
Next, we have Monroe's LDCC Monroe's Black History Month program. That'll be on the 27th as well at 12 p.m. Our guest speaker this year is Mrs. Donna Isaacs. She's the executive director at Campty Field of Dreams Incorporated.
Okay.
So we are looking forward to her talk, and the SGA is actually putting this on in collaboration with the Black Male Mentorship Program. So they are putting this on, making it happen, and I'm excited about it.
All
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are all our Black History
Yes.
Month
That's
programs.
a lot of events this week.
Packed week already, and we're not even close to being done.
That's right.
Tomorrow and the next day is
LDCC Day.
Woo! Y'all, this is like the biggest recruitment event of the year. If you're new and you don't know what it is 2 days of high school recruitment. We have high schools from all over the area coming through the ATC. We have tons of people from LUCC who come out from all the campuses to do just amazing and fun things. So
Yeah,
it's
this
gonna
is
be big.
You know, this is great for students as well as for employees. For students, because they get a chance to come here and view all of our programs in an interactive way. I mean, faculty and program directors really do a great job of exhibiting their programs, and students can come right up and engage with them. And that's important because, you know, I think we're all pretty much conditioned now that if we can't interact with something, it's difficult to hold your attention. No one wants to stand and just hear about something. It creates a more lasting memory when people can engage and they remember that. And so that's cool for the students. For employees, it's great because a lot of times we work in our own silos and we know what we do, but we may not know what happens at another part of the college or another location. And so we're all here. And so you can go around and you can check out and you can meet other employees that you haven't had a chance to meet yet. You can see what they do. It gives you a broader perspective of what the college itself offers, so that when you're talking and sharing with your neighbor, family, or friend, you're more knowledgeable about what people can come here and engage in, rather than just your area or some extendeds around your area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And other campuses, are they all?
Everybody's here.
Okay, everyone, okay.
Clubs and organizations are on display. Programs of study are on display.
Wow.
And it's even interesting when we have our own current students come by and walk through and
Yep.
see, because they're like, oh, I didn't know that we had this program here or this opportunity over here. So it's really a recruitment event almost for everybody, as you were saying. It's a
Yep.
360-degree recruitment event.
It's a program party.
Yes.
But I
forward
mean,
to
and
it.
it really is like a party. I mean,
Okay.
it is so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be
forward
it's
to
gonna be
it.
big, and it's 2 days too. So we will be out and covering it and
Yeah.
talking to students.
And as of right now, we have about 1,100 students who are signed up who are coming
Woo!
from all over the northeast region of the state. So yeah, it'll be great.
Yes, well, I'm looking forward to my hometown, like Providence, showing up.
Oh yeah, they will be in the
Yep,
house,
they will
middle
be showing
middle
up.
school and high
So,
school.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That'll be the rest of the day setting up. Like, as soon as we finish here,
Yep.
I'll be out that way. doing that.
And these things don't just happen by themselves. I mean, there's a whole committee dedicated to pulling this off, and the person heading up that committee is Liz Ford.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
so she has a nice sized group of people who are working to pull this off.
That's right.
And from a faculty perspective, Ryan,
Yes.
excuse me, King,
Oh, okay.
from a faculty
You,
perspective,
my royal scepter is in the other office. If you don't.
child, look, I know.
Shall
I
run-
know.
shout I run over a fetch it?
No, we don't. We really want him to stay grounded as much as possible. You go do that, and we'll have a hard time trying to.
Okay.
So
Trying to bring him down.
Trying to
okay.
bring him down. So, from a
Okay.
faculty perspective, what is it like for you?
To put this on.
Yeah.
It's quite exciting. It's engaging, actually. When a student comes up, first of all, you're really trying to get them to engage with you. A lot of students, and I'm the same way. If I'm at a conference or something, I'm just kind of walking past, right? These booths, I'm not necessarily trying to engage unless I feel compelled. So as faculty, we're trying to compel them to come on in. Let's have a discussion. Let me reel you in with some sort of implement. So like Joe Lane, he'll ask, hey, I have 2 coins. And it equals a certain amount, but one of them is not this. I can't tell you the whole thing. And he's like, so what 2 coins do I have? And so he'll be trying to engage them, and that
Yeah.
kind of gets them thinking about some things. And we're trying to, it's business. We're talking about business, but it's like, how well do you critically think? And then like, I'll bring some metal puzzles or something, and I'm like, hey, we need you to work as a team and think logically on how to solve this puzzle, how to take this apart or put it together. They're real simple things,
Yeah.
but they're ways just to get them to kind of come to the table. We usually have prizes and giveaways and things.
Oh, wow.
We'll have a game, likely, like last year we did a Wheel of Fortune game that was a digital game. Just ways for them to just stay with us for like even 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and get them to think about how they could be a part of what we do at LDCC in the business program, and in other areas, are doing similar things, but I'm just talking for ourselves.
Yeah.
So
That sounds quite
It's-
Lots of
engaging.
creativity.
Yeah, that's important to get kids to think, right? Because so often these days we are fed so many things. It's important to be able to critically think about what
Yeah.
you're hearing, what you're reading.
Exactly. Critical thinking, teamwork, listening skills, all those things. And we'll wrap it up after they've done an activity with us and they've worked together and all those things. That we'll say, yeah, these are the things that you need to be successful in program X. Again, our programs, business, computers, and whatnot. But it really applies to everybody and everything. So it's a good time. I mean, it wears you out because you're talking like that whole time for 3 hours straight.
I would just
You
go
know.
home and crawl
It's
in
so
my bed.
energizing,
That's-
though. I
yeah.
mean, especially when because not everybody's going to be super interested in your program.
That's right.
But when you get a chance to talk with some who you feel you really made a connection with, or that you could tell they were enlightened, that is that's really satisfying, and it gives you that drive, that little dose of serotonin, like. Dopamine.
Well, I tell you, we were. I think it was a recent job. Oh, we can't. Okay, a
I was
recent job.
told that they couldn't hear you, so I'm just
Oh,
checking
okay.
things.
Thank you. We were at
Or
it.
you
I
can
got a
pull
little
it up.
dose of it. Oh, okay, a little
Yeah.
dose of it. I think it was at the Mangum Alumni Career Fair, so I got a chance to a little bit baptized into that kind of event
Okay.
where we have a lot of high school students, a lot of energy. So
Yeah.
it was quite exciting though to talk to young people and
Yeah.
listen to what they had to say and what they were thinking about with respect to their futures, right? Because it's a lot of pressure out there, and they have a lot of choices, and I'm thankful, I'm happy that we're having that event so that we can introduce them to what we have to offer, and help to then hopefully if they decide to come to Louisiana Delta Community College, we can guide them along the way. You know,
Exactly.
people need help, and that is what it's all about. You know, helping to raise a generation who will take their responsibilities seriously.
Exactly.
Right, both as citizens and as hope then eventually family members, etc. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. It's going to be wonderful.
A full,
For-
well, 2 days, two half days,
Yes.
Yeah.
9
Yep.
to 12 each day.
Whew. Yep. It's going to be happening right outside the store.
I
isn't
know
it?
they're getting ready.
Yep.
They're
They
getting
sure
ready
are.
Yeah.
right now as we
Yeah.
speak.
Next, we have OER Student Awareness Day, Lunch and Learn at Bastrop. So we've been looking at following this event. Logan Cup from the library has been putting it on and going to every single campus to do an OER presentation for open education resources. And he's going to Bastrop this week. So if you're from Bastrop, faculty and staff are also welcome. It's important that everybody is aware of OER. And just sign up, have some lunch, get a free meal, and learn more about library and resources that are available
Yeah.
to you. So
Ask questions. Logan would love to answer some. You know, let's just give Logan a shout out because I
Yeah.
mean he's come to LDCC and he
Okay.
has really jumped in, embraced his responsibilities. I mean, he lives library services. I mean, he really does. And he's always thinking of how he can elevate
Okay.
the services that they offer. So shout out to him and shout out to that whole group over there.
He actually has a newsletter now out on LinkedIn. He's been publishing
He's
his own
very-
newsletter. He is
Wow.
like, academics, education is his thing through and through. The library is a perfect
Okay.
fit, and he likes to take his show on the road wherever he goes. He's
Okay.
wanting to talk about it. So it's fantastic. He's one of those guys that just jumped right in, and
Okay.
he's not stopping. It's like a runaway train
Yep.
in all the
His-
best ways.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his
Logan, you're awesome,
authenticity
man.
really comes through.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
swear, like I'll be helping him with an event, and then he'll send me, another one that's coming up like so far in advance, and the passion is just so there. He just can't wait to get into every event, and we're actually going to push out high tech humanities coming up soon, which we've done the past
Yeah.
last semester.
Okay.
So that is something else I'm excited about because that's become a really awesome event that he's been putting on. So
High tech
we're-
humanities, you said?
yep, they
It was really good last semester.
Yes, they get some, either faculty member, the special guest speaker to talk about the humanities and
Okay,
bring
okay.
that to the forefront. So we are
Okay.
so Logan. Thank you. You're
Yep.
amazing.
He is amazing.
Kudos.
Yes.
All right.
Next, LDCC Bastrop is having a new program coming out. It's a spin on a classic program here at LDCC. It's called the LPN Apprenticeship Program.
Yes.
Earn while you learn, right?
Hey, I like
So
that.
This is a
That's
lot
what
like
I'm
our
talking about.
teacher apprenticeship program that Ashley Ellis headed that began, I think, almost 2 years ago. It's a lot like that. So LPN students will be able to work as, if they're a medical assistant already or patient care technician already, they'll be able to work as that and make the money while they're also working to get their LPN. So it's perfect for people who maybe don't have time for school because they're, trying to work and support themselves or their families. So that's coming up quick. If you want more information, call a Bastrop campus. We're also going to post this on social media this week, so we'll be able to get it out there and get the word out.
To me, this is an example of responsiveness to people's needs. I mean, this shows that this is evident that, people are in touch with the audiences we serve. And as a community college, we definitely should be on the front lines of leading efforts that way. We know people can't, there are a lot of people who want to come back to school. Or the girl who took my, I went and had my annual exam, just my, what they call it, my wellness visit last week, and the girl who took my blood for my lab work, I asked her, I said, where'd you go to school? And it wasn't here. And so, and she said, I said, so what do you want to do? Was this the goal that you were aiming for? She said, no, I really would like to go back to school. She said, I looked into the RN program at Delta, but she said, I just don't know how I would do it because I have to work. And so, so that's a real thing. I mean, people oftentimes can't let go of their current employment to be able to go to school. And in our allied health programs, especially when you're talking, LPN and RN, they have to dedicate that full time, to the program because they have to do their clinicals, through the college. And so it doesn't leave time for them to be able to hold a job necessarily. And plus the curriculum is so challenging, which it should be, that, there is no time. Right. So this is great that they're offering that, where they can work and go to school simultaneously.
Yes, it's a great opportunity. You're exactly right, because as you were talking about that, I was reminiscing about my own time as a parent and having to work and trying to make a decision, whether or not I go to school full time or do I work, and I had to make the choice to do both.
Yeah.
I had to do both. I had to work full time, raise children, and go to school, and it's a tough choice, right?
It is.
It's tough to do. You thank God for the wherewithal to be able to do it, but it is hard to do, and that's why we, as Workforce, because this is one of the programs that we have, the LPN apprenticeship program, led by Mr. Hearn on the Bastrop campus, when they came up with that opportunity to allow folks who have a desire to help folks, right? To render them some sort of care, to give them an opportunity to do that. And so we're excited about that. Applications again, I think we're opening it, I think, in March.
Okay. Yes, I think so.
The applications open in March. So please, we're asking everyone, if not you, a family member or a friend who's had the desire but saw that, they had to make a choice, a hard choice. Between work or school. Now we are able to combine those two things together, and that there has also been an imperative in the state and the country that we should come up with apprenticeship programs, provide that opportunity for folks to be able to do both and not have to make a choice, right? When this country was founded, I'm sorry, I'm going off now on a tangent. When the country was founded, and when you think about that, most people learn how to be lawyers on the job.
Yeah.
You learn how to be a physician on the job, right?
Oh,
you
Lord,
learn
that's
to be a surveyor on the job, right? That is how you learn on the job. Being in an academic setting, we get that, right? That has its place as well. But when you can combine the two,
right,
it is a great opportunity, and it grants access to folks who otherwise would not have the opportunity to do so. So we're excited about it. We're very excited about it. I know you can't really tell it in my voice, but we're excited.
So
I see a twinkle in your eye.
Yes, we're very excited about it. So
Well, and speaking of Workforce, I did want to put our March flyer up here today as well. We have 5 programs in March coming up and much more coming up in the future. So go on our Workforce website if you want to learn more. But we have electric line worker opening up soon, starting March 10th. Commercial driver's license, CDL, that's in West Monroe, March 31st. Heavy equipment operator in Winsboro again. So is electric line worker. That'll be March 10th as well. And then forklift, both in LDCC Ruston and West Monroe. Two places, 2 dates. And then OSHA 10 is open enrollment in the spring, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And it's online. So you can do it from the convenience of your home.
Hey, I like that.
In your PJs, if you so please. Yes.
Now that's
yes.
learning right there.
That part. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, if you could sell OSHA to anybody, is it just for people that are working in a particular field, or is it expansive? Could it be useful to almost anybody to know safety? Because isn't that a safety type of course?
It is.
Yeah.
And I would say, yes, it could cut across all types of jobs or industries, right? Most people think of OSHA in terms of construction and manufacturing, but you actually can use it anywhere you have to deal with electricity, even technology, right? So, for example, when you're working around people and chemicals are involved, for maintenance, right? We all have maintenance somewhere, sanitation services somewhere in our building. It's important to know how to handle certain kinds of chemicals, right? Even when we have those Clorox wipes, right? How to properly dispose of that, right? People don't often think it can flush them down. No, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't put them on your face, right? Anyway, there are certain ways, we all have to interface with some sort of cleaning product at some point in time in our lives, on the job, at home. It is important to be able to know how to handle those things. So I would say, from the home to the job, and it doesn't really matter. You want to be able to keep yourself safe as well as others.
Yeah.
And then to properly store them as well. You can't leave certain kinds of chemicals. Clorox shouldn't be outside in the heat. Ammonia, you shouldn't mix the two. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
Because I have a little cleaning issue, and so I mix those two chemicals together, and oh my goodness, next thing I know, lightheaded.
Yep.
Right. So it's good for everyone to at least take the first level. They have several levels of OSHA, the general industry, think construction, and then they go from 10, 20, 30, and so on and so forth. But the first level, which is offered online, would be a good introduction to how to handle things. And I think it ties also into the training we have to do on hazardous materials and things of that nature that we have to do here at LDCC on an annual basis. It's just good to know how to handle things, just in general. So, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Trying to sell it. So me selling everybody that's listening.
Me too.
OSHA 10.
Yes, OSHA 10.
Yes.
And when you're applying
Heavy
for
equipment, all of it.
and when you're applying for those manufacturing jobs, I mean, it looks great for you to have that
Yes, it does.
certification. I mean, because
Yes,
then
it does.
they don't have to do that initial investment
That's right.
into you
That's
to be
right.
able to get that. So it makes you very attractive.
Very
It
employable.
does. It does. It does. And that's what we're about in workforce employability.
Yeah.
There you go. Plug.
Hallelujah.
All right, you guys. We're going to run through our In Case You Missed It real quick.
Your favorite one.
I just love the end. It's like, I love it.
Yes.
All right, you guys. So first up, last Friday, Winsboro they usually host an area welding competition every year. And so they hosted that last Friday morning. They usually also cook for all the high schoolers who come out and compete. So Ashley Easterling snagged some pictures for me because Friday I was super busy. And so she took these and sent them over to me. And Winsboro has a big welding program, one of their biggest programs.
Okay.
So it's a good recruitment opportunity too for those
Awesome.
students who might be looking for somewhere to get certified.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very nice.
And then next, Ruston, as I said earlier, also had their Black History Month program. And Miss Grambling came out to speak to the students. They also fed everybody.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yep.
Miss Grambling.
She is
Yeah.
beautiful, y'all. She is like just gorgeous. She had her big crown on and had a really good speech as well.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep. Next, the OER Lunch and Learns, Lake Providence and Tallulah. So, like I said, we've been covering those events, and you can see Logan doing his thing up there.
In
at-
his
yeah.
element.
Yes, at both Lake Providence and Tallulah. So Stephanie Wilkes came with them and took those photos for him. She has been, an amazing, supportive library director. So,
Okay.
yep, she's been helping him with those as she gets, into her new role as well. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had her on. She is really a credit to the institution.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep, and we also had next, sorry, and this isn't on the agenda, but we did have the Children's Center Mardi Gras parade last week.
Adorable. Look at there.
The kids are precious. They
Yes,
were
they
precious. Yeah, they had a good crowd, and they gave their beads and had their it was just precious,
Oh,
y'all.
too sweet.
You know what's interesting about this? I'm looking at the pictures, and for Halloween, all the kids, they come by and they get something to eat, right? They get treats and
Right.
stuff.
Okay.
But in this case, they're giving out. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder how that's playing in their heads. Like, we're giving away things, and they're having just as much fun giving out beads and trinkets
Very
as
good.
they are
Training
getting things
them.
at other points in the year. So I think that's pretty
Training
good.
them.
That's
That's a good
right.
lesson.
Yes, it is.
So sweet. And
Yes, it is.
this is probably the first year that Miss Sandy Clausen wasn't able to be there. So her workers, her student workers, put the whole thing on and it went off without a hitch. So shout out to them for getting the kids
Yes.
together, because wrangling the kids, sometimes that can be a challenge. So, but they
Shoot,
absolutely
it's a
crushed
challenge wrangling one. And how many do they have?
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
That is awesome, though. That's awesome.
And then finally, we did have our farewell celebration.
That's what I was
for
waiting
the
for.
one, the only
Aw.
Miss Darian Atkins, and we have some sweet
Look
moments
here.
from that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
it was
a great
so,
time.
so great. Oh, my gosh.
I
Touched
wanna-
my soul.
Look, I want to draw everybody's attention to the top right picture.
Is that the coolest picture ever?
It should have been blown up a little bit bigger, but those are the generations of media coordinators that
Oh,
you have
really?
raised up, Darian.
Yeah.
In the top right.
We were
Oh,
all there.
my babies. Yes.
Okay.
So it's quite impressive.
You saw the
Oh, yeah.
opportunity to get that picture, and you took it. And
I
was
sure did.
so
All
glad.
my babies.
Yep.
And what was also neat too was that so those were my LDCC babies that have come through this department. Also present were 3 past junior league presidents that I had an
Wow.
opportunity to work with them their very first year in the league, because they come in and it's called a provisional class. It's really where you learn about the league and league history and how to become a good league member and all that kind of stuff. And I chaired that committee the year that they were coming in, and three women out of that class later became presidents, and they were all there too. So that I felt like such a proud mommy.
That was fabulous.
Awesome.
It was great. A lot of people had a lot of great things to say about you. There were a couple of jokes. No, I'm just kidding.
Wonder from whom?
If y'all were wondering why
only-
there's a little ice
Wondering
over
from
there.
Only because I love you, and we had to do it. But look, really, well, what probably was one of the more touching moments as well was just you and your husband up there, and you giving him, kudos and talking about how he helped and to guide you and mold you, and then he kind of said the same, vice versa. Y'all seem to be such a great pair. A lot of work I know has gone into y'all's relationship, but y'all stayed strong and just that was probably, I felt like that touched me, at least, seeing y'all up there,
Yeah.
talking
Awesome.
to each other and about each other in all the best ways.
Well, look, thank you for that. I mean, I was touched by everything everyone said, almost. But what was almost all of what you said?
Oh,
Some parts of it was good.
just,
It's not 100%. But anyways,
oh.
the thing that I think Lawrence and I both, was when Patience, stood up and she was saying, about, the way that her and her husband both viewed us. I mean, Lawrence is like, I don't know, have I met her before? He said, wow, that is so powerful. I mean, people watch you and you don't even know, that they are or what they're seeing. And I mean, that spoke such volumes to him, and it was so humbling, for him in that moment that, somebody thought that about him and about us, and he didn't even know. I mean, so that was something. Tomorrow is our 36-year anniversary.
Wow.
So we'll be celebrating 36 years tomorrow and the rest of the week. But the whole thing was just so very well done, and shout out to all of you all who participated in helping Cameron pull that off. It was fantastic, and I'm telling you, every bit of it touched my soul, and I mean, was just blown away. It was just so well done, and the company was great, and the people who showed up, and to support it, that meant so much. I got a few phone calls and texts prior to, people who couldn't show up, for various reasons, but wanted to let me know that meant something. They wanted to be there but couldn't for whatever reason. And then I've gotten some emails. Hey, JJ, thank you. I read your email this morning. I love you, dude. You are my dude.
JJ's
I
awesome.
love JJ.
Okay.
But yeah, so thank y'all. Thank
for
y'all.
sure.
Absolutely. You deserve it. I mean, 15 years of service, that is incredible to LDCC. So,
And your family came out too, which is
yep,
great.
all the family, all the
Oh,
folks.
I mean, Ash, yeah, they drove over from Texas to, to be here for
That's
that event. So,
amazing.
yes, so all of my children were here. All my grandchildren were here. My sister and nephew and niece, and it was my mom. Yeah, it was really, really nice. And I tell you another thing that was special too, when Alvina spoke, because Alvina goes back to my very beginning with me. I mean, because she was on my hiring committee. So she was one of the ones that I had to interview with to get this job. So that was like going full circle.
Yep. Full circle moments. A lot of full circle moments.
Yeah, most
It
definitely.
really, really was. Yep.
Yep. So it was amazing. We're also Miss Darian's doing our Monday morning motivation after our feature to sign off.
Okay,
so we got her doing that. But
But for right
Miss
now,
Catherine,
yes.
Is it my time?
it is
It
your
is
time.
your
Let's
time.
get into the
Goodness
feature.
I
All
say
right.
softball questions, please.
Okay, now actually, so I'm going to challenge you. Sorry,
Oh.
I'm going to challenge you. Okay,
Challenge.
because I am getting notifications through YouTube that people cannot
Cannot
hear
hear me. Can you hear me now?
you. So you
Can you
just,
hear me now?
Yeah, you
just
gotta
make
keep
sure
that
that,
up.
since this is your time
It's
and
okay
you're the
that I'm
featured
heard,
guest,
that I'm heard.
That you are
speaking
heard.
Okay.
like you're talking in front of a large audience.
All right then.
There you
So
go.
everybody
do that.
You
I-
can do that.
I'll raise it up a notch. How
There you
about
go.
that?
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll
There
raise
we
it
go.
up a notch. I'm sorry.
I'm feeling the energy.
Listen, I feel like I'm in a nice, cozy, warm place. The only thing that's missing is the fire.
There you go. It does really feel that
Yeah,
way.
it
doesn't
feels like that. So that's
Yeah.
why my voice is a little tempered, if you
Yeah.
will.
Very homey
Okay,
in
but
this
I'll
space. We get
Yeah.
it.
I'll step it up a little
They
bit.
want to hear you. I'm like,
Okay.
"Okay, here, Miss Catherine."
Okay, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Okay, softball question still.
Well, first of all,
Yes.
where was Miss Catherine born and raised?
Oh, now
We're
that's
going all the way back.
Oh my God, that's a
We're
complicated
going all
question.
the way back.
Oh.
It's
Let's-
not
let's-
very straightforward. It's not a
Okay, that's okay.
straightforward answer.
We'll follow you on the
You'll
twists
follow
and
my
turns.
little. Okay,
There you
okay.
go.
Well, I was born in Lake Providence, Louisiana.
Okay.
Spent some formative years there, and then my mother took us to Seattle, where her siblings were. They had
Wow.
moved from Lake Providence, and so
That's a big move.
yeah. Well,
Stark
she
difference.
initially she had siblings in Chicago, and she had siblings in Seattle, and so she was trying to decide. She went to Chicago by herself. And I heard, she went there by herself. I wasn't with her, so she went by herself, and she decided, too cold. So, she went there during the summertime. I heard. Excuse me, not the
Seattle
summer,
is
excuse me.
cold.
Went there during the winter to Chicago.
Oh, yeah,
She
honey,
went
it
to
is
Chicago
no
in the
joke.
winter, which is not a good time to visit for the first time. So she said, "Nah, I'm cool." And so her sisters, her elder sister, one of her elder sisters, said, "Come on out to Seattle." And so we went there. And so it had been a series of years back and forth: fourth, fifth, sixth grade, seventh grade, Seattle, eighth, ninth, part of the 10th grade in Lake Providence, and then the rest of my life in Seattle. And then in
Okay.
between there, various countries and states.
Oh,
Whoa.
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I
The
know.
adventure. That's where
I
the
know.
adventure is coming
What was
from.
what was what out of the countries that you've been to? What was your most favorite or memorable?
Ooh, good
Oh
question.
my goodness. The most I will tell you the most memorable was when my daughter, her senior year of high school. And we decided I coddled together my little pennies and dollars together. And so for her 18th birthday, we did the 3-country tour of Europe. So we flew to New York City, got to London, England, went all the way down to Milan, Italy, to Rome. And I got to tell you, Dante's Inferno is real. Never go to Rome in the summer.
Okay.
Never go. It
Okay.
is hot as,
Okay.
HEL hockey sticks, right?
Yeah.
HE hockey sticks. That's it. So it's really, really hot, and it was humid. Hot.
It's like
Right, so
Louisiana hot, but
it's
worse.
Worse.
Texas
Really?
hot.
It was
With the
hot.
humidity.
It was the humidity was. But anyway, so we did that. We went to Italy, stopped, did the French Riviera, Italian Riviera. Right, we did that, Montpellier, and then we popped on up to Paris, and then back to London, and so. That was the most memorable.
That sounds so much fun.
Yes.
We're all like leaning in, like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Tell us more.
Right.
So yes, that's my most memorable.
And it was
trip
just
with
you
her.
and your
It was just
daughter?
myself and my daughter.
That's special.
Now, the reason why my son didn't go, because he's 3 years older than her, and he had just come from Japan. So, he was out of
Is
school.
he in the military or just
no,
taking
for
a trip?
school. So the
Okay.
school they went to was a private school, but the school was arts, sciences, and STEM, right? So they had a lot of opportunities to travel abroad, and so he had some friends that summer that he went to go visit.
Wow.
So
Oui.
that's what he
It's
did.
not just me, y'all.
He didn't want to go with us.
So
He didn't want to go with us.
worldly.
No, he didn't want to go with us. We wanted him to come with. He said, no, we're not going. So he went to.
So
where
he went to
away.
Japan.
Yeah, he went to Japan, and
Wow.
we were in Europe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
That's
that's my
amazing.
most memorable.
Okay, so you lived in Seattle.
Yes.
You lived in Lake Providence.
Yes.
What lessons did you learn from being in both places?
Oh my gosh, that people are people.
Okay.
People be people, and
People be people, and no matter what, you can always find something to complain about, right? But it's up to you to make the best of the situation that you find yourself in. Wherever you're living, just make the most of it,
Yeah.
right? Just make the most of it, because there's no need to complaining. Complaining just makes you more miserable, and I learned that very quickly, because here I was like, oh, I can't get teriyaki. There, oh, I can't get good fried chicken. So
look,
Yeah.
What do you
So
do?
so
that
you just-
food thing be
Yes,
real.
This does. It does. And so sometimes I find myself traveling all the way to Jackson just to get some Jamaican oxtails,
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you really do. The long and short of it is you got to, food is serious business.
It's serious business.
Yes. You just got to make the best of it, right? You really have to make the best of it no matter where you are. That is the one that I hold on to every day. You can either look at it as an opportunity or a hindrance.
So you have a real love for Lake Providence, and I mean, I've picked that up, and just hearing you talk about Lake Providence.
I do.
I remember a few years after I started working here, there was a news story
Yes.
that came out
Yes.
about
Yes.
Lake Providence.
It did.
And it really ruffled some feathers over there.
It did.
And that news story talked about the poverty in
Yes.
Lake Providence, and it being one of the most, if not the most poverty-stricken area in the United States. And like I said, it ruffled some feathers. I remember going to a couple of meetings
Okay.
over there,
Okay.
because that stirred some action between some of the local community leaders and Louisiana Delta Community College, and developing some specific opportunities through Delta for the citizens of Lake Providence. That being said, what's your take on the state of Lake Providence?
Oh my goodness, we don't have enough time. But I remember when that came out, the guy from CNN actually had reached out to me. I've just gotten back to Lake Providence. And so, as an outsider, outsider, so folks, even though I was born there and spent most of a lot of folks knew who I was, but a lot of people did not. And so I was viewed as an outsider in the mixed. And so I was everywhere. I was looking, listening and what have you. But what the article was endeavoring to do was to raise the issues. Tell the truth. There's a lot of wealth inequality, right? And because of the legacy of the place, money is still in the hands of some versus others. And it's hard. It's hard to have mobility in almost a caste-like system, right? And it's the truth, right? I mean, people don't want it. The feathers were ruffled. I got many phone calls about it. But the truth is the truth. If you have the wealth, okay, contrast. I try not to compare things, but that's what I do as an analyst. Seattle. Very different kind of place. In the 1970s, Seattle was in such a depressive state economically. There was a billboard sign that was put up that says, "The last person leaving Seattle, turn the lights out." Okay.
Wow.
That was in the 1970s.
Wow.
But the people who really cared about the city, and understood that we could not be a one industry economy, right? That is what dogs Lake Providence, a one industry economy. So they came together and they started working together across racial lines. And I know we don't like to do that, but I'm going to tell the truth. They started working together and they came up with a plan and they executed it across several administrations, right? Lake Providence struggles with, though you have had different administrations, there's still a singular mentality.
Yeah.
Okay? There are people there who want to do great things, and some people have done that. But writ large, we have to be able to change the way we think and deal with each other as opposed to being transactional. We need genuine relationships with each other.
Relational versus transactional.
Exactly. We really need that so that we can go deeper and deal with the issues that are at hand. There are many people, again, Seattle, similar situation, water around the city, all that kind of stuff. But the folks came together and they used the wealth they had to make it better.
Got it.
We have open hands versus closed hands, right? And so when they did the article, some of the more affluent folks in the community were very happy to say they had the money. But I said, well, what about the community? Right? You can't get upset about me pointing out the truth of the matter. You can't get upset about that when you have the resources to make the difference, right? And so that's the difference between the Bill Gates and of the world. I'm not trying to plug him, but he put his money where his mouth is, right?
Yeah.
He put their monies where their mouth is, right? And that's the difference between the two places. But it was the truth. People didn't like it, but it was the truth.
Yeah, I know the article clearly pointed out that, the lack of a middle class
Yes, ma'am.
in Lake Providence. It is purely a,
One or the other.
the haves and have-nots situation.
It is. That's the majority. That's the majority of the situation. And again, there are people who have been working really hard for a long time to change that. But, there's a thing called, they say, critical mass, or the tipping point. I'm thinking about Malcolm
Gladwell.
Yeah, Gladwell, yeah. Called the tipping point. You need a group of people who are consistent. You got to be persistent with this stuff. You can't let up. I was a track and field runner. I ran short distance and long distance.
Oh, wow.
And when the bear got on your back, you had to get that grit, and you got to suck it in, and you keep pressing. And a lot of people have just been worn out by the ongoing lack of unity, right? The ongoing lack of vision. Again, it's hard to move forward when you have a wall that's been intentionally built to keep you from moving.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I love it because I still see potential.
Yeah.
Right? There is beautiful natural resources, and the people, you know, when you get the chance to sit down and talk to folks about their aspirations, right? About about their families who've been there for generations, right? And how they fought and they struggle and now they are able, some of them now have college degrees, and some of them now have their own homes with their own children who had the same teachers that their moms had or their grandmothers had and their grandfathers had. That is awesome to me.
So out
But
of
we
the
have-
ashes
yeah.
came a lot of beauty.
Exactly. And so we're
Yeah.
just trying to create, you know, I'm a politician as well, so I'm vacillating between two roles here, DC, and anyway. So as a political person there in town, that's what I'm always looking for, is the opportunity. Let's open it up so that everyone can have a chance, you know, to build a life that is what they envision for themselves. And if they lack the vision, help them to see what is possible. But it's very hard to do that, again, in an environment where there is a concerted effort to not allow that to manifest. And I don't text me, do not email me, because I've heard it all, the excuses about why things happen the way they are. But there are some great people, beautiful people in Lake Providence who want it to change, but we gotta do it. We gotta come together in order for that to happen, right? We can't,
Right.
and we can't get upset when the truth is told.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
truth.
progress is a team sport for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
So what role do you play politically in Lake Providence?
I'm a member of the Board of Aldermen.
Okay.
So the
Wow.
city council.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go. All right, now you mentioned running in track and field.
Yes.
So what activities did you participate in high school? And I'm assuming track and field is one.
That was my first love.
Wow.
Track and field was my first love. My aunt, Alice, I'm going to say her name, Alice Larry, introduced me to track and field when I was in the 7th grade. I ran in the Jesse Owens International Track and Field Invitational that they used to have.
Wow.
And that was my first race. I had on a blue satin top and track pants.
Oh, I wish
track
we had
shorts.
a picture.
Yes.
I'm so glad. It does not exist anymore. So yeah, I was at the Jesse Owens Invitational as a kid in the 7th grade, but she introduced me and I loved it. I still run, not as often as I would like to, but track and field was my first love. And then I just like, you know, hiking, boating, swimming.
Yeah.
I tried basketball, not so good. Excuse me. I was not good at basketball at all, and my husband laughs at me every time I try to throw a piece of paper into the trash can. It misses every time, almost every time it misses. So I tried. My mom was a basketball player, and so she was
Really?
the captain of her when she was in middle school, junior high school or whatever. She was the captain of her basketball team all the way until she graduated from high school. And
Mom
so I
had
wanted
skills.
Yes, she did, and I wanted to have those skills. Nah, I didn't get it. I got the running gene.
Yep.
I do not have the basketball
The
gene.
coordination.
Wow.
Eye coordination, no, I wasn't good at that. So I like that, and I like debating, right? I was a
Yeah.
good little debater.
I love
like
debating,
doing,
too.
oh my
That's-
God, I just
yeah.
love that too. I don't know. Sometimes it's a tie between running and that for me. And then I liked actually just community service. My grandmother at an early age had me involved in politics. So I would get people registered to vote. So I like doing that. Right? I love doing
Civil-
voter
civil
registration.
service,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God. I love it. Seeing when folks vote for the first time. I never forget when my kids voted for the first time. Oh man, that just blessed my heart.
Moment of
That just
pride,
blessed
yeah.
my heart. So anything that helps the community, the body, right?
Yeah.
Be better.
Yeah.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. I'm right
Yeah.
there with you.
Yeah.
Where'd you meet your husband?
Well, I don't know much of the detail I'm going to share that on.
Oh,
but let's just
honey,
say
let me
that
just. I'm ready.
Are you ready? Are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Y'all ready?
Yep,
ready.
Okay. So, my husband's name is Timothy. They call him Timmy Ray. And
And what you call him, Ray Ray?
I can't. Did she say that?
Ray.
Oh my God! I cannot tell you.
Ray.
Listen, I cannot tell you.
Trying to close it down. This is the last episode of the Morning Blend that will ever be broadcast.
Oh my gosh. She's
Listen.
just like, I'm bringing it down with me.
I am purposely do not tell people what I call my husband because let me
She's like, I'm not
tell
gonna
you
put it on
why.
the
I'm
internet.
gonna tell you why because my husband calls me sugar. Okay, sugar. So I'm sugar to my husband Timothy, and so when he calls me, that everybody has begun to call him. Call me. They'll call me sugar. How's sugar doing? Sugar this, sugar. And so I said, if I give my name out to what I don't want nobody calling my husband the same thing I call him.
You know what? I don't even blame you.
I said,
blame you on that
listen, I don't want there to be no misunderstanding.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello now.
Yes, so
We
I do
are
not
the
disclose.
healing
Yes, ma'am. That's right. That's
one,
why I do
'cause
not disclose
The side
what I call
That is
Mr. Middlebrook.
wisdom
So-
right there.
Yeah.
That is
Wisdom.
You say, cut.
Let me toast you on that. That's right.
Salute.
That's
All
it.
right. So that said, he and I met when our second stint back into Lake Providence when I was in the 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
In Lake Providence. And so yeah.
Middle school sweetheart.
Middle school, yes.
Whoa.
He was a star football player and
Oh.
but I didn't see him. I didn't see him the way he saw me. And it just so happened, so you'll hear a little bit of my story here. I don't know, Lord, should I just go? Anyway,
Come on, girl, spill that.
so I was a teenage parent.
Uh-huh.
And he, though not the father of my son, he was always present. He was always
Wow.
around. He was always making sure I was okay. And my mom was like, "What is going on here?" But he was always present. And when after I had my son in '85, my mom decided it was time for us to leave Lake Providence for good. And so we left, and I would keep in touch with him over the years, but did not. It kind of fell off over time. So it had been 30 years. 2000 August 8, 2011 is when I'm gonna say this: the Holy Ghost told me to call him.
Really?
And I was sitting on the edge of my bed in Seattle. Things were happening in my life. My kids were gone, and on the East Coast, and I was there in the home, by myself, and so I had the unction to go call my husband, call the man who would become my husband, and so I did that on August the 8th, 2011, and we.
Look, we got the date.
Yes, ma'am. I called that date. I called him, and his aunt answered the phone, and I didn't know it was her. I didn't know that was his aunt who answered the phone, but she yelled, "Timmy Ray, phone!" So I'm coming from Seattle, highly sophisticated, a little worldly. She's yelling on the phone. I said, "What's going on?" Anyway, so he comes to the phone and he says, "Hello," and I said, I said, "Is this Timothy?" He says, "Yes." I said, "Do you know who this is?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Can I call you tomorrow?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay." So I called him back the following day, came down 2 months later. I was going to a conference in Atlanta, and we've been married since October the 20th, 2011.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
That's fast.
I'm looking at this math.
That's right.
I did the
So
math.
you
and-
called him
In August,
August.
Yes.
And then,
we were married in October.
Woo.
well,
Yes. I didn't, I left out some of the things in between, but yes, it was
that same year.
That same year, because when you know, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
When you know, you know.
And you've
There
been
was
knowing the
only-
brother since 7th grade.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. When you know, you know. You don't need to waste any more time. I didn't know how much time I had left on this earth, and why waste it? He asked.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Now, when he asked, let me tell you this. So this is how it happened. Okay, this is how it happened. So we were on the way. We were supposed to get married on October the 21st. So he was trying to get our birth certificates or whatever, so you can get married or whatever in town. And their computer system was down for 2 or 3 days in Lake Providence. And we were told over and over again, "Oh, we'll have it up." And so we were on the way to Greenville, Mississippi to get rings. And we're driving along, and he goes, call Arkansas, Lake Village, Arkansas, and asked them what does it take to get married. And I said, okay, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
And so I called them, and they tell us what's required. And he said, we're not going to make the right turn. We're going to go make the left turn to Lake Village. And so we went to Lake Village, and we were married there at the Justice of the Peace on that day, October the 20th, 2011.
Wow.
was-
So you all are coming up on your 15th? No, 14th anniversary.
Yes, we are. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. You said, 36 years?
36.
36 years, and I tell you, it feels like that sometimes. It's
Yeah.
36 years, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
He is the man that I needed in my life. He was a Christian man. I was in a backslidden stage, and God used him to bring me back.
Look at that.
amazing.
Yeah, so I'm
Wow.
excited and happy each day for him to call me Sugar Sugar.
That is so sweet. I
Yeah.
feel like we can
Amazing.
shut it down on
yeah.
that one. Oh, my
That's all
God.
We should have had you on for a Valentine's Day.
Oh, my goodness.
That is precious.
That
Yeah.
is precious.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you had your son, and then the two of you together had your daughter.
My daughter, yes.
Okay.
yes.
And so you just have those two.
No, my husband was married before he and I were married, and we have lovely 1, 2, 3 daughter and 2 daughters in love and a son in love. So
Oh, wow. That
Yeah.
is so sweet.
yeah, they are.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yes, it is. You have to live every day with intention, right? You have to make up your mind how you're going to live your life. Are you going to intentionally live it in a way that brings joy? As best you can, have some joy and some peace and some love abound. Even when people don't treat you the way you're treating them, right, with love and respect, you still have to find it in your heart to love them back. Now, be clear. Now, I'm good at that. I believe in boundaries and clarity. If there's anything family members know about me, I don't cut any corners. I believe in Thelonious Monk, straight no chaser. I'm going to give it to you. But I'm going to give it to you with love, right? And so we decided that when he and I, especially with my husband rather, we have decided that we were going to love, and we're going to love, and we're going to love for real. We're just going to love for real. And whatever that looks like, that's what we're going to do. But we're going to be truthful with it and all of it, right? We're going to tell the truth.
All through the
And it
easy, all through
yeah.
the hard, all through the
every
in
bit of
between.
it, every bit of it. And so, however many more years we got left, that's how we have chosen to live it. We're going to live it in love.
That's it.
Yeah.
Shoot, that's the Monday morning motivation.
Amen.
You're not getting out of your part.
That part.
That is very interesting. I mean, well, wow, we've learned a lot this morning about
Yes.
you.
Well,
Thank you for
Appreciate you
sharing
being
your
willing
story.
to share. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'd say, before I let somebody hold anything over my head, I'm gonna tell you myself.
That's it. My husband says that all the
Yeah,
time.
you don't have to worry about no exposés on Catherine Middlebrook.
There you go. Just say you can
Because
tell
Catherine,
your own story.
I'ma tell it. I'll tell it.
There you go. Take control of the narrative.
Look, no blackmailing here.
Yeah. Take control of the narrative.
No, that part.
Uh-huh.
That part right there. I can tell my story better than anyone else can. So I try to own it. The good and the
Yeah.
bad, the beautiful and the ugly.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So, last question. What's your vision for workforce? Now, you've come here and have taken the position as director of workforce.
Yes, operations.
Workforce operations. What's your big picture goal for workforce?
Well, I think we had a small conversation about this before. What we're thinking about workforce is to have it. We want to be the leader, right? We want to be the premier workforce education and trainer in the Northeast, in Northeast Louisiana. I would say Louisiana.
There you go. Say it.
Right? In Louisiana, we want to be the premier trainer, right? Provider of training and education in Louisiana.
Okay.
And how we're trying to do that is we're going through a little bit of a remodel, right? So there's a really good frame there, a good foundation. But there are some things we know we need to do, and that is to develop relationships with industry. Right? That's why we're here. It's called workforce, not just for training, but to actually help people get placed in jobs. And I've heard it been said we're not a job placement agency, but that is not what we're trying to do here. We have to have the relationships. There's no other way to do training. Why do you train people if you're not going to help them get jobs?
Right.
Yep.
Right? So whether you want to frame it as job placement or not, that's a limited understanding of what it is that we do. We build relationships so that people can build their lives.
And you have to look at that from the end user.
That's right.
You know, if for people who want to access the service,
Yeah.
you know, if you're going to help them, helping them find employment
Yes.
is a part of it.
That's exactly
That's
right.
the whole reason in securing the skills.
Exactly. So we want to make sure for every person we train, we have somewhere they can go, right? We have a relationship. If nothing more than an interview, right? We can't promise jobs, but we
Right.
can certainly put them in the direction of where one is, right?
And raise the expectation of the skin in the game required from business and industry
exactly
as
right.
well.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
So,
right.
you know,
exactly
we're listening to them, you know, regarding their needs, and
That's right.
they
That's
need
right.
to have skin in the game to be responsive as well to the needs of our students.
That's exactly right. And so that's part of the remodeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going out there. I'm in that Louisiana Delta Community College vehicle, be it a Malibu, a Nissan, or a Dodge. And I am driving.
However
and
lucky you are that day.
Listen, and if they're not available, I'm in my Expedition. And
There
we
you
are
go.
driving, and I'm calling, right?
Uh-huh.
I'll just pop up and just say, hey, you know, here's my card. Let's have a conversation.
There you
right?
go.
So that is what it's about. It's all, life is relationships. Right? Life is relationships. And if we're going to do anything well in workforce or as a college, we have to have relationships.
That's who people do business
That's
with.
right. You have to
the
have
ones
them.
who they have relationships
That's
with.
exactly right. So we're excited in workforce.
Yeah.
Most of us are new too, right? We have 2 coordinators. I'm going to shout out to Anna Claire and Anicia. Are you there? All right. And then of course Kelsey Valley is new to the to workforce as well. And so you have a lot of some in leadership as well as frontliners. I call them frontliners. They get the brunt of what's coming in on the student side of the house. We are all learning and growing together, so that
that's
we can
great.
deliver
Yeah.
what people expect from both customer perspective, from the student perspective, as well as from the business side. We're here to again, I like to say help, but because that's all I know it is. We're here to help people build the lives that they dreamed.
There you go. Dreaming.
Yes.
That's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to have dreams.
Yes.
That's where because
Yes.
that fosters hope, and
Yes,
if
it
you don't have
does.
hope,
That's right. That's
you're
right.
just existing.
Yeah, I love the way
merely
Aretha Franklin
existing.
did it. Said it, daydreaming, and I'm thinking. Anyway. Lupe
Yeah, we went
Fiasco.
there. We
Lupe
went there this
Fiasco, who
morning.
said, daydreaming with Jill Scott. All right.
Oh, I know that song.
You know that
I
song?
know that song.
All right. I can't quite do it the way she does it, but yeah. There you have it.
I'm just like, how you know that song? That's interesting. Wait, talk. Hold on. No, I'm just saying.
I now see.
morning, Blue Man.
I see.
I didn't know. There's no shade. There's no shade.
Oh, that's a little shady. It's a little shady.
Let's talk about it.
You have to
Disconnected.
watch Wee Wee over here.
Bye, y'all. I'm gone.
Oh, don't
finally
go. Don't go. But yes, I do. My daughter used to be a manager for entertainment types, when she was she lives in New York. Both she and my son live in New York, my biological children. And so she used to be an agent, a
There
talent
you go.
agent.
Wow.
So yes, I like
Oh,
Lupe.
fascinating.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Fast.
My daughter
Fascinating.
hip hop. She's hip hop hooray.
I gotta send you the latest. That's good. Okay.
That is
Yes, I know I don't seem
fascinating.
like it, but yeah.
Well, you were like. Coming in all, refined and everything. We'll talk about all that,
Sophisticated.
but cool.
Yeah.
Listen, my mama said you dress for the audience.
There you go. There
I
you
just come
go.
in here with my bling,
Maybe
My hoops.
maybe
my
one
hoops
day
are
in the
my
summer
favorite
we'll
now.
get her. Yeah.
The hoops are my favorite.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I decided to do a little small,
I
small
see.
hoop.
Yep. I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on, Miss Catherine.
thank
you all
sharing
for
your
having
story.
me.
This has been
Yes.
just
Thank you.
amazing. It's been amazing to
Yeah.
learn more about you, more about
Yeah.
your story, and
Yeah.
I think you're going to be like just already such a blessing to
Yeah.
LDCC.
Well, I thank God
We're
for
so
you
glad
all
to
as
have you.
well. Thank you
Yes,
for
yes,
having me, and I'm
yes.
so saddened by your departure.
Yes.
but
Speaking of,
I have contact information.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Hallelujah. And I have
Use
my
it.
book ready too.
Oh, good.
I have my
Good
book ready.
deal.
So
well,
yeah.
speaking of, we're about to get into our Monday morning motivation.
yes.
All right, Monday morning motivation. Well, I think probably this sums up all of the motivations I've ever done. And this one is, it's relational in nature, but different in that we're going to be focusing on our relationship with ourselves. Today, I want to encourage everyone to accept the fact that life is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the truth.
Yeah.
Life is hard. You're not doing anything wrong necessarily when you encounter hard spaces. That's a part of life. Those hard spaces can be opportunities for us if we allow it. Some things we can get through faster and easier when we choose first to reflect, not react or respond, but to reflect. And if we choose to reflect first, and it's not reflect looking and examining and analyzing and agonizing over the behaviors of others, what you felt someone did wrong, how they could have done something better, how something was unnecessary. It's not that. It's looking at yourself saying, here's truth. And here's how I feel about all the stuff. Let me move my emotions away from this situation. Let me move my emotions away so that I can see what's truth. And I'm going to choose to focus on the truth of the situation, not how I feel about it, but let me look at what's truth. And when you can look at what's truth, then you can question yourself to say, why do I feel like I do about that? And if we're honest, it's a growth opportunity. Because let's take the best case scenario. If you're right in how you're viewing it, then you're getting ready to have a relational growth opportunity. You're going to have the option to choose to walk with someone through a possible learning opportunity for them. Or they may choose not to. But you have the choice to try to walk through that with them. Because after you've analyzed yourself in this, you're saying, yeah, I mean, I'm right in what I see. And they truly are wrong. But I'm going to walk with them to help them see the truth in it. And hopefully we will both grow on the other side of it, because you will have exercised patience and tolerance. And probably the most important of that is grace. To walk with someone even though they were wrong or may have done you wrong. You're exercising and growing in those things. Now, if you look at it and you determine, well, I was really embarrassed, by what was said or done, or it made me angry, because they just shouldn't have done it that way. See, when it comes back to you, then that's an opportunity for growth in yourself, because humility is a powerful, powerful skill. It's a powerful, powerful character trait.
It is.
And when you can exercise the strength and the courage to walk in humility through a circumstance, you can save yourself true embarrassment because you're acting out of character or acting unseemly. You can save yourself shame, because then when you come to yourself at some point, you'll look on that and feel ashamed because you didn't respond in the way that you should have. You'll foster maturity because you will have disciplined yourself in that moment to not react negatively. And you will have practiced the discipline of reflecting to catch yourself, to say, what now? Now that I recognize it was just my pride. I was embarrassed. I got offended because of my pride, because I was embarrassed. Now, what's the correct way to respond to this? What do I need to do? And when you're in those spaces, you look at the fact and deal with fact. What were the facts of that situation? Deal with that in yourself. It doesn't feel good to hear critique.
No.
It does not feel good to hear critique. My husband has done a great job of serving that up well over these 36 years. And it has not felt great. And I promise you, probably the first 15-ish, in my mind, I turned that around and I made him the problem. Because in my mind, I fed the narrative. He sets these impossible standards. Nobody can perform at that level, or he just thinks he knows everything. He's just so arrogant, and, he just always have to be right. But in my heart, I want it to be right. And in relationships, you can't keep score. That's so dangerous. And if you find yourself fighting within yourself to want to be right instead of wanting to reach an understanding, you got to deal with that first within you, because even if that other person is wrong to any degree, you can't see straight because your lens through which you're looking is inaccurate. It's inaccurate. You're not going to be able to analyze the circumstance properly. And so when you take the time, in short, before you get upset and before you go to give somebody a piece of your mind, don't, because I promise you, we all need every piece of our mind that we got. God didn't give us any extra to give away, so don't give people a piece of your mind. Before you go and do that, or before you start giving people the cold shoulder or the silent treatment, whether it's at home, at work, in your friendships, or any other relationships, do yourself the favor and stop and reflect. Look at you. Don't be so quick to look at that other person. You got to get you straight first. Check in with you and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Move all of those emotions from the circumstance and look at the truth of the matter and deal with the truth. And no, it doesn't feel good to go back and say, you know what? I thought about what you said and you were right. I caution you to not even address how someone said it, because you can get into a whole thing that way, and it really, that's that person's growth opportunity. Let them deal with themselves on that. because then you can still kind of stick it to them if you start discussing, I don't like the way you said it. No, look at you and deal with you first. I don't, you were right, and I'm going to work on that. Thank you for pointing that out to me. And I know some people listening saying, there is no way, but yeah, if you want to grow and if you want to practice that discipline of self-control and humility, this is necessary. You can't get around it. It's completely necessary. So take control and lead yourself well. Lead yourself well. Because if you can't lead yourself well, you're not going to do a great job of leading anyone else. It's impossible. It's just impossible. So that's the Monday morning motivation, is reflect on you first.
Okay.
Reflect on you first. And then we win.
Yes, we do.
Then we win.
Before we sign off, this is Miss Darian's last episode of the Morning Blend
It
ever.
is.
I'm blessed.
And, me, Ryan, and Miss Darian had this idea, I guess a year and a half ago. And it took a couple of months for us to get ourselves together. I felt like we were all, going through different things while we were trying to pull it together. But it came together. And it's one of my favorite things about working here. We get to come on the air. We get to know other people. We talk about everything under the sun, and we laugh. We spend our Monday mornings laughing, talking, fellowshipping. And I'm just really grateful that this idea has come to fruition and has turned into what it is.
Yeah.
Because now we have people, asking to come on, which is,
Wow,
we
that's
never thought
awesome.
anyone would ask to come on, be like, hey, put me on the
Yeah.
schedule. We never thought it would come to that.
awesome.
So,
Wow.
and it was serving a very particular purpose to serve our internal audience, which is special in its own way because our employees here at LDCC are so special and deserve to be informed, but also to have a platform.
Yeah.
Right. To have a platform to speak on, what they're doing at LDCC and also just about life. Monday Morning Motivation was Miss Darian's idea for a segment. And it survived our first segment cut from the first season because it's also a favorite segment here on the show. We got into where we take turns doing it, but
Yeah.
Miss
Okay.
Darian is truly the mother of the Monday Morning Motivation, the MMMM.
All right. All
That's what I
right.
am.
And it's because that's who she is. She loves to pour into people, bring people in, share wisdom as much as possible, and also gain wisdom. Soak it all in. And everybody needs to be motivated on a Monday. So,
Yeah.
Miss Darian, we're going to miss you so much.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to miss y'all too. But look, I am going to be listening. And I'm going to be one of those people in the chat.
The types.
She's
Yeah,
going to
be
tune in,
on.
Ryan.
And Ryan, you better read my chats too.
Oh my God.
You better read my chat because
goodness.
if you're not reading my chats, I'm going to start bringing your phone off the hook. I'm going to let it ring and then I'm going to hang up and call back and let it ring, hang up and call back.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
But lock.
Don't ever get a real line connected to the podcast because I will be
Yes.
calling and you'll be seeing the light.
Yes,
my gosh.
indeed.
Yes.
Yes,
that-
yes, yes.
I know that number.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
it's
So
been- it's
I'll
been
still
great.
be watching.
Yeah.
wonderful.
I think we
Wonderful.
can't say it enough how great it's been working with you and having you just to be around, just in general. Your energy, your spirit. Yeah, we appreciate it. Everything you've given.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just my initial meeting with her, you gave me some great wisdom on the first day I was here. I came to get my ID made, and you shared some words of wisdom with me at that time as well. And it has been a pleasure. It's been the little time we've had, and I'm hoping over time we'll still be able to communicate and help me along the way. I truly appreciate what you have shared with me thus far.
Yeah, we still got
Yeah.
some work ahead of us. I mean,
Yes,
so
yeah, yeah.
we'll be connected for a while.
Goody. I'm sorry, she.
Because
needed
we
it.
got your number too.
That's right.
Yes, you do.
I
Yes,
say
you
we do it
do.
the opposite. I just say
Yeah.
we blow her phone up. How
Yeah,
about
blow
that?
it up.
Yeah.
Waking up in the morning, texting, hey, Mysterian.
Now, look, you got to wake up very early in the morning to wake me up.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to
And
miss
I know y'all are going to be sleeping, so I don't have to worry about y'all. I don't have to worry
calling
about
us
y'all.
Yeah.
out.
I see.
No,
I see.
we're gonna move it to 9 a.m. whenever.
It's going to be the afternoon blend. You know?
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be the lunch special.
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
That
Let's-
is
Let's keep
hilarious.
the discipline. Let's
Yeah.
keep the discipline.
Didn't we try to have it like at 7:30 at one point?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
our first few
That-
episodes.
that lasted
And
only
it about killed you, Ryan. I remember that.
It sure did.
Oh.
All right. Well, Mysterian, sign us off for the last time.
All right. So thank you all for tuning in. And Cameron and Ryan will see you in a week. Have a great week.
Okay, we're done.
The drama.
Oh my goodness gracious. I'm just a chit chatting now.